Welcome back to another episode of Guess the Game Scene. In this series, I listen to a song from a game I've never played and try to guess what's going on in the scene without any sort of context other than just the music. And then after I listen to it, I will give my thoughts, and then I will go back and watch the scene and see how close I got. I am usually not right. I am joined today by my Twitch viewers. Super grateful for them. So feel free, chat, to guess along, and let's get started. Whoa, okay. This gives me, is this pentatonics? I feel like it's okay. I don't know what I was expecting, but that was not it. I feel like this is maybe a race. I feel like something is very fast. So we're either doing something really, really quick, like we're racing something, or there's like a timer going on or something like that. Do we think these are real voices, or do you think they're synth voices? I can't tell. Or maybe they're real people and then they've kind of changed them in a computer. I can't really tell if they're real people, but it sounds like, this is gonna sound really silly, but I think it has to do with bugs. Maybe it's because the sounds, like the really high-pitched sounds, remind me of like little tiny bugs flying around. So I feel like it might have something to do with bugs. I don't know whether we are bugs or we're riding on bugs. That probably is such an unhinged thing to think about. If the denizens of Farloom recorded an album. Yeah, we've got the Hallow Nest and Farloom came together. No, you know what it is? You know what the makes me think of bugs is that the low voices going, it sounds almost like a bee buzzing. That's why I have bugs in my head. I think so. Yeah, with all the humming and everything, it sounds like bugs. But I'm probably wrong. What this is from, but it is absolutely fantastic. Like, it sounds like a faster, quicker version of something that would be in a super weird kind of game like Skull Monkeys from, like I played that on the original PlayStation. And the Neverhood, the band that did the soundtrack to that, the Neverhood, was so odd. And they did a lot of these kind of weird sounds, like with their voices and stuff. And that's kind of what it reminds me of. But this is much, much faster than anything I ever heard in that game. But I feel like we're on a time limit. I cannot wait to see what this is, because I have no idea. It's also interesting because it's all on beat, but some of those voices are not, but I think it's written that way. And it's really interesting. It gives it a really interesting rhythm. It's really, really interesting. Yeah, all I can see are bugs. We are bugs. We're controlling bugs. We are racing bugs. Maybe we're running away from bugs. I don't know, but all I can see in my head are bugs. Okay, but for real, props to these voices because wow. Oh, weird. So now we got like, it was like a climax, but then it kept going. Oh, and that was it. Okay, bugs, maybe. Racing, maybe. I feel like we're hurrying. We're obviously hurrying. I think that music is intended to make things feel very fast, right? At least that's my opinion. I think we're doing something very, very fast, whether it's a race or we're like, we have to reach the end of a level at a certain time, or we are running from something, like maybe something's chasing us and we're running from something. Here we go.
Yummy fresh meat for my pot.
I was so wrong. I mean, no, I wasn't completely wrong. Because we are running from something. I knew it sounded like it was supposed to be fast-paced. Never in 1,000,000 years would I have thought of a walrus with this music. Never. No bugs. I really do think I thought of bugs just because it does sound a lot like bugs, like the humming of bug wings. But I don't, like I said, I don't think they obviously weren't going for that in the music. I think that's just because the music they're humming so fast. This soundtrack was done by the a cappella group Spiral Mouth. I've never heard of them, but they're so talented. So was this done by a computer or is this all just their voices? Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Okay, so I was totally wrong on like the subject matter as far as bugs go, but it was fast paced and I felt like we were either being chased by something, chasing something ourselves, or we were racing something or something like that. So I was not 100% wrong. I think it's fascinating. I think it's fascinating to look at or listen to music and see, because music is supposed to invoke certain emotions, right? That's why we have soundtracks to games. And I think it's really fascinating to listen to the game soundtrack and see if you can kind of, even a movie soundtrack, and see if you can kind of figure out what's going on, because some it's really clear and some it's totally not. But anyway, all right, that's another episode down. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. This was recorded live on Twitch. If you'd ever like to stop by sometime, pop in and say hello, I would greatly appreciate it. If you like these vibes, then you should come join us sometime. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.